So, a very good evening and welcome along to UlsterWhiskey.com's Irish Whiskey Reviews. We're whiskey tasting live tonight, but we've got an exclusive tonight. We're about 4 weeks away from a very special event, and the man himself, Paul O'Kane, is here to talk to us now with Marty.
Hello.
Good evening. Marty. Paul seems to have dropped off there for some strange reason, but there you go. We'll catch up with him later on in the show. So you're taking part in the Belfast Whiskey Week. That's coming up very shortly. And joining us live now is Paul O'Kane. He's ready to chat away to us.
How are we, Paul? Are you well?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay now? Yes.
I can hear you fine.
And I can hear both of you. So thank you very much for having me. That's
no problem.
Brilliant.
Glad to have you along. Where are you this evening? You look like you're at the caravan.
Yeah, I'm up at Ballycastle, up in the coast this evening. So I've had a hard day. I've had a hard week down in Ecklandville sorting out the festival. So I just thought 1 day's break would be nice. So I'm here just for the day.
Actually, that's where I was during the week. I was up in Ballycastle and I was in Dolly's Cafe and I was in the dessert factory there at the seafront. I haven't caravanned in Ballycastle since the 1970s. And do you know what, Paul? I'm not a day older either.
True that. Here, the dessert bar is absolutely brilliant. The dessert bar is great. I've been up here for the last 9 years. I've had a caravan up here for 9 years, and every summer trying to get up. So this is the first, obviously due to the pandemic. This is the first time I've really got the chance to come up. So yeah.
And you're not too far from Bushmills as well, there, Paul.
And the mighty Bushmills, the best whiskey in Ireland. Fact. If it was run by Irishmen, is that what we're saying?
It's run by a conglomerate. Everything's run by a conglomerate these days, apart from the artisan sort of distilleries. Exactly. Marty, what are you doing? What are you doing for this man, Paul, later on in the month?
I'm going to be doing an introduction to Irish whiskey, which
so
many whiskies is 18. Did you tell me?
Yeah, so there's 15 different brands involved in that one event, and so you're going to have 15 different brands to play with, and yes, it's 18 whiskies, lots of whiskey, lots and lots of whiskey to play with.
Yeah.
But it's a broad spectrum of Irish brands, and some brands we've heard of 100%, and some new brands coming to the fore. So we've got a couple of exclusives within that box, a couple of new whiskies. But yeah, lots to drink. And do you know what? That event sold out. I don't believe there's any tickets left for that event. So, it's a good crowd for you. And it'll be a good opportunity for you to get speaking with some of the, the different brand ambassadors who'll come on during the session,
No, but I'm really looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a long day,
I think it will be a long day. It's a lot of alcohol. It's a lot of liquid. But it should be good. It should be good fun. It should be the type of crowd we expect for the whiskey festival. It should be good fun. People want to experience the whiskey. It should be a lively event. We'll try, and we'll break that up. We're going to have some entertainment in between, so you're not stuck there chatting away for a couple of hours. We're going to have some comedians, some music. Keeping it nice festival vibes. That's what we want.
Yeah, exactly. And I've never had a problem talking, Paul, as you know. Talking's not a problem for me.
Here, I see a beautiful collection of... Is that Dunvilles? Beautiful collection of Dunvilles. You're very lucky.
We're doing a whiskey tasting after this. After I speak to you, we're going to... The good folk in Ecklandville were kind enough to send out to 20 competition winners last week 2 samples. So we're going to do a whiskey tasting live after this and have to chat to you. So tell some more of the events that's going on in the Whiskey Week. Give people an idea of what's happening.
Yeah, so there's lots of events. So 43 events, 22 of them are sold out already. We've got about another 10 that maybe have less than 2 or 3 tickets available, and then there's a couple of hours that are just coming on. So we've actually only just been putting on events in the last week, but Yeah, there's everything. There's whiskey from Ireland. We've got most of the distilleries in Ireland are involved. Most of the brands are involved, and then we've got whiskey from America. So we've got the bourbon packs. We've got whiskey from around the world. Again, I think that might have sold out. We've got English whiskey introduction packs, and we've got a couple of Scottish packs. They all sold out very quickly. And then there's some really old stuff. So pre 1980s whiskey from Scotland, pre 1970s whiskey. We've had to put on a second class for that for Irish whiskey, and that's looking at really old stuff. That's looking at 1950s, 1960s, 70s Irish whiskies. Most of them disused, mothballed, dismantled, even distilleries, and looking at those old pot stills.
I mean, those things
very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, these things would be like hen's teeth. They're like hen's teeth. You're not going to get too many opportunities of doing this.
No, you know what? We probably have 4 or 5 bottles within the 2 tasting sets that people just will not have had the chance to even sniff at. We've got a 30-year-old Powers, which retails in at the moment. If you were to go and buy in the shop, people are selling it in around €5,000. And then we've got a 1950 Napoli cask. So a lot of people might have come across the even older bottles of the 1951, but we have a 1950. That's cask number 4 from Kilbeggan, I think. The original Kilbeggan casks. So, yeah, there's just so many, good whiskies out there sitting in people's shelves, museum pieces. And I just thought, Martin, I think it's important that we taste it. There's no point in them sitting there. Let's crack them open, having a bit of crack.
This is it, and that sort of democratic way of doing it. Getting it out, letting people, because there's not too many people who are going to spend £200-300 on a bottle of whiskey. There just isn't. But getting the chance to taste something unique and something of heritage and something of the past at a reasonable price. I mean, this is to be applauded. It has to be.
Oh no! Thank you very much for that. No, look, and I do appreciate that. What I appreciate is the massive support that we've had from the industry. All these distilleries that have wanted to come on board, all the brands that have come on board. We have one pack which I've just we put it out in pre-sale. We sold a hell of a lot. I've just re-released it. It will go live at 10:30 tonight. It will re-release again at 10:30. There's only 18 packs left, and it's exclusive drinks. So these are 9 exclusives, exclusive only to the festival, and they're exclusive by the distillery. So I'm now allowed to really talk about those whiskies, because beforehand I was just waiting on confirmation. So we've got Dublin Liberties. I put a 5-year-old cask strength bourbon cask into the mix. We have got Kinsale Spirits, who have got a Red Earl bottle that have come out recently. They've put in their cask strength version of that, so that's exclusive to the festival. We have Connaught Whiskey, have a 17-year-old single malt Marsala cask. We have Dunvilles have put in a 19-year-old, again, cask strength version, so something that's not available on their core range at all. Then we've got Cologne, have their 5th, I think, no, it's not even going to be their 5th, it's maybe going to be their 6th bonded experimental season Hungarian oak cask, which is not for sale. They might not even release that until the end of the year, so that's going to be exclusive. We've then got Dingle. Now, Dingle's very interesting. Dingle have now put in their 4th pot still cask strength. Unheard of. They've not done a cask strength pot still ever. So this is, again, another exclusive to this. We've then got our own festival bottling, which is supplied via Cologne, which is now it's labelled as a 10-year-old, but it's not. It's plus 10-year-old single malt rum cask strength. And then what else have we got in that box? We have... we've got Hinch. Hinch are in that box as well, with an Amarone cask strength.
Excellent.
Yeah, look, do you know what? What has been great about all those people putting those products in there is that they've really supported the festival. They really want the festival to succeed, and they want to stand out from the crowd. They really want to put an effort in and say, this is an Irish whiskey festival. They belong to that. They take it on board. Yes, it's based in Belfast, but this year it's based all around the world. We've gone global in terms of sales. In terms of where products going. It's gone out to the States. It's gone out to parts of Europe. It's gone as far as New Zealand now. I think that's the furthest point that it's going to.
It's the biggest Irish whiskey festival in the world, like.
I'd say at the moment this is definitely at the moment it's the largest Irish whiskey festival in the world. I'd also say it's the largest whiskey festival in Ireland. That's maybe ticking its own boxes. But do you know what? It's we talk about a lot about the whiskey. I'm really now concerned about the entertainment. The entertainment has got legs. It's a festival, so we've got like nine. We've now got nine comedians. Nine comedians. We've got 17 bands, and I think there's 8 DJs. So it's extremely, and this eclectic mix of music. So it's lots of different music, lots of different comedy for people to enjoy, which makes it a festival. So it's not just about us drinking all this beautiful whiskey and all these beautiful little miniatures.
Oh,
Do you
yes.
know what I mean? All these. And that's a wee hinge one that I stole. So a wee cheeky bottle of hinge there. But so it's not just about that. It is about the whole festival vibe, And if you're lucky, some of the events have food delivered to them. So depending on where people live, depending on what boxes it are, they might get a wee surprise chap at the door, and they might get some food delivered.
Excellent. You're saying there about the industry. I mean, I said to you about. A rising tide lifts all ships. That's the key to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's pulling together, and there's not another industry. I can't think of one as friendly and as close knit really as the Irish whiskey industry. I mean, you and I both know that. I mean, I talked a couple of weeks ago about. I tell you what, we'll do a live whiskey tasting, and I thought, I know the guy at contacted Jarlath down at Dunvilles. Couldn't have been better.
Yeah.
I'll get that done for you. Thanks for doing that for us. And brilliant guys.
No, there's so much. Do you know what? There is genuinely just so much appreciation for each other and trying to help each other. The whiskey industry in Ireland has to exist like that because of the lack of new distilleries with their own product. They have to have those relationships. I've managed to bridge lots of different relationships with lots of different brands. And that I genuinely have been humbled by that. That's a humbling experience to have all of these people wanting to work with you and wanting to do something. A good example of that. Look, IDL are a massive brand, and we have one of the best. I probably talk about him too much, but he is one of the best brand ambassadors for a company. Joe McGowan, who works for Dylan Bass as the representative for IDL, brand manager for Redbreast, Method Madness, Jameson's. He's such a lad. He's such a genuine fella. When I told him, like last year, I was going to run the festival last year, he was all for it. He was like, "Yeah, can we do whatever we can?" I was like, "You do what you like." This year, he said, "I want a whole day to my branding," and I went, "Go ahead, do what you want." And then he said, "Look, we want to be part of that exclusive box. We want to be in there." And he came back to me. He says, "Paul, I've been thinking about it. I don't know what to do." So I went and asked Billy Layton what to do for the exclusive bottling. And and it's only recently that I found out what it was. So Joe had come back and said that Billy Layton himself went in and picked the exclusive bottling. So to add to those bottles we just spoke about, we have actually from IDL a Powers, John's Lane, Cask Strength, never been done before, probably will never be done. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? That says all. That's those guys working hard, wanting to put an effort in. We're talking about a brand manager, a brand ambassador for all these brands, really taking it seriously, taking the festival seriously. Those relationships that we have with these people, and you talk about Jarlath, we could talk about Brendan at Cologne, we could talk about Dave Cummins down in Dublin Liberties, we could talk about Lisa from Dave from Dingle. Sorry, we could talk about Lisa from Dublin Liberties. Shouldn't get Dave mixed up with Dingle. Dave is Dingle. You know what I mean? But but you've got all these people, genuinely all these people who want to work with you. They talk to you all the time. They message you. They ask you how things are getting on. And it's great to see some of these new distilleries. Connaught have really surprised me. Connaught, got in touch with us and wanted us to get involved and help them, launch their products. They've got their first ever spirit coming out, and they wanted us to help them do that. I feel privileged to talk about that and be part of that process. Not I mean, that really excited.
They were contacting me last week and sent me out a couple of samples to review and stuff. And anything they can do for me, here's the numbers. And that's just the way the industry seems to work. A few other things.
Yes.
And in terms of where do people go to buy tickets and tell people that and give it a plug to the Belfast Whiskey Festival, the website address?
Yeah, so I mean, look, the website's up and running. So it's just the website. It's www.belfast whiskey with an E week. So belfastwhiskeyweek.com. And you know what? All of the events are in there. The ones that are sold out are scrubbed out. You can click on the ones that are not, and you can explore them. But I think there's a lot of information out there. It's on Instagram and it's on Facebook. And you know what? I'm easy. I'm on the other end of the phone. And what's been really humbling about the whole process is I've had phone calls genuinely from India, or I've had phone calls from Holland, or I've had phone calls from Canada. And people just phoning me because my number is it's readily available. I'm not going to ignore people's phone calls, and they're phoning me saying, "Can I get a ticket? Can I get involved?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And let's discuss that process. Yeah. But look, I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I genuinely do mean this. You guys are doing a great show. Loved last week's the whole fire was up. It blew me away. It blew me away. There's some really good. You know what? And I was thinking to myself, there are just so many stories about I suppose that even distilleries just burning down. And when you started to talk about some of that stuff, I was like, oh, here we go. But it's the fire, it's the process, it's it's looking at the I suppose even the flame fed stuff down at Cologne for those guys. That was great. It was a great topic. I really enjoyed it. You guys have done well.
Hey, listen, we've had some fantastic questions in tonight while you've been talking, Paul. I've been doing the back office stuff. Wait do you hear this, Paul? You'll love this. This comes from John G. Donnelly. Why does it take a Scot to create an Irish whiskey festival?
What did he say?
He says, why does it take a Scot to create an Irish whiskey festival?
Do you know what? That's a good question. Do you know what? I might be a Scotsman, and I was born a Scotsman. But you know what? I would suggest I'm probably 5th generation Irish. You know what I mean? In that respect, everyone's got a granny from Donegal. We talk about that. I'm lucky to have. I'm lucky to have a granny from Cushendall. Know what I mean? So I'm a lucky man. My grandfather's parents were from Armagh.
Did you come in the potato run and get stuck? Did you?
Okay. Do you know what?
Just say yes.
But no, look, you know what? It's a love. You know what? I fell in love with whiskey due to my grandfather, but I actually fell in love with Irish whiskey through the Redbreast 15. That was my first ever Irish whiskey drink. And you know what? It's very hard for me now to determine what's better. People would have said, and they ask the question, what's your favourite whiskey? I can't give them that. That's fluid. If it's never been about the best whiskey. It's never been about what's the best tasting whiskey. It's fluid, very fluid. And Irish whiskey, Scotch whiskey, they're great. They're great together.
Some of our viewers like to take the hand out of us. There's Julie Mason. She's saying Whiskey Festival sounds amazing with some wonderful distilleries. And it says Jenny Mann.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah, Jenny Mann says, have you guys got some subtitles up? Quite funny. They don't always understand the accent. Yes, I'm like Hitler in the bunker because I'm actually the words do not match what we say. It's because it's an American English that's being translated, and of course we're speaking the Queen's English, and they don't understand it. All right.
I'm from Ballymena, Justin. I don't know what I'm speaking the Queen's English.
I hope. Do you know what? I was on the phone. I was on the phone yesterday to a friend who I haven't spoken to for a long time over in Scotland, and they were like, "Geez, you picked up some Irish twang." I was like, "Really? Have I? I don't notice it. But apparently, apparently I have.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I was 9 months in England and just walked out of the post office, and the guy says, "How long have you been here?" And I says, in this village, only a couple of weeks. I'd only been there 9 months. And he says, "Oh, you've lost your accent completely. You sound like you've been in England 20 years. And I thought to myself, no. I haven't.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
But
Here, just just want to ask you two a quick question. What do you make of? I mean, look, we can talk about the festival all day long, but what do you make of the actual the labelling and everything else? What do we make of that?
Well, that stands out. That's nice. I like that. That stands out.
Well,
yeah,
it's contemporary. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to give the festival a contemporary modern feel, and you're trying to make whiskey relevant to the 21st century. So that's a no-brainer for me. Yes, you want to hark back to the past. There's a great tradition of distilling, brewing in Ireland, Scotland, but you want to give the festival a modern feel and brand.
Yeah,
good.
Do like
good.
That, like
thank you very much. No, good. Do you know what we've got? One of the guys from our whiskey club, Johnny. He has his own wee studio down in Belfast called Studio Stereo, and he's done all of our design work. He's done everything, and do you know what? I'm impressed, and it has. I've really appreciated it. We could have gone with some traditional labeling, and we didn't. We went all the way out there.
Hey, listen, this'll probably make you've been framed, okay? Now, you maybe can't...
Jenny, you're all over that. Jenny, you're all over that.
It says, it says there, Jenny, man, it says, when you were saying 6 and they got sex, okay? Yeah. Well, listen, don't worry
Jenny,
about that.
I think that says more about you than us.
Right. Jenny must be on it already. She must be on it already.
Right. Well, Paul, we're going to have to go because we have a whiskey tasting to do.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and hopefully I'll speak to you during the week. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep the good work up. And I'll see you soon. All right.
Listen, lads, enjoy your evening. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Everyone, good night.
Log out, watch the show and share it as well, Paul. All right, take it easy.
100% doing it right now.
All right, bye. Now, Marty, where were we? Where were we?
I only know where Jenny was.
I don't know. Listen, other people are saying that. It says, Julie's saying, as an American, it sounds exactly like that. Okay, Yeah, well, all right. Need to say more. Yeah,
I think that's the term of us Northern Irish folk, Right. We are going to do a tasting of Dunvilles.
Wow.
3 Crowns. Now, anyone who was lucky enough to get one of these bottles, okay, what I want you to do now is open your 3 Crowns and put it into your glass.
Oh, okay. Now, do you put all of the 3 crowns into the glass, or just a bit of it?
I'll just put the whole lot in. No point collecting. No point saving it.
I know, but I don't want to show Channel 4 in this broadcast by mistake. Hold on, I'll put a wee drop in.
Okay, so put in as much as you like. Okay.
Do you have to add water to this? Do they?
Don't do that. You never do that to start with, Justin. You don't ever add water to start with. So just put it in. Have you got it in?
I've put it in. Yes, there it is.
Good man. Now, this is just straight out of the bottle. Sorry. Right? Now, give it a little sniff. Okay. Give it just a little nosing.
Oh boy, that's good.
Start. Okay. Now, and there's a reason for this. There's a reason for this madness. Okay. Give it a little taste now, and then we'll get back to it. Okay. Taste it now, and see what you think. Just quickly. Just a little sip. Swirl it around the tongue, and see what you think. Okay. So just have that in your head.
Smoky?
No, I wouldn't say smoky. It's quite sweet, quite light.
Maybe I've got coronavirus.
Maybe don't be coughing whatever you do. No, right. But I want you to think what that tasted like, and we'll come back to this because this is important. When you leave a whiskey, set it down, let it decant a little bit, and you'll see how the flavors change in it. Okay, so that's why I wanted to do that quickly. Now, I want to talk about the Dunvilles brand and Ecklandville, and people sometimes don't know what the difference is. Ecklandville is the estate and the name of the distillery where the Dunvilles brands are coming from. Okay. Now, Ecklandville, the distillery is just outside Kirkcudbright in County Down, way down in the beautiful countryside. A little bit of history. We'll get to the gun part in a minute or two. A little bit of history. The Dunvilles brand. I've talked about this before in a couple of the other shows. Massive brand. Existed in the 19th century, all the way up to the 1930s. You have talked about being in the old Dunvilles buildings just off the Grosvenor Road. So, we've talked about this. Don't want to hark too much about the old distillery. I know you have a couple of pictures of the old distillery. But that brand disappeared. Okay, we've talked about this and said about how successful it was, how big it was, and blah blah blah. Okay, so we'll not cover too much of the old ground. Ecklandville, the Eckland family came over from Fife in Scotland in around 1600, and they owned about 1,500 acres of real estate down in County Down. 1613, Robert Eckland was made the Bishop of Down and Connor. And if anyone wants to know where the Connor is, Connor is basically County Antrim, if you like. It's from Belfast, Lisburn area, all the way up to Rathlin Island. So he was made the Bishop of Down and Connor. He was murdered, so all his family moved all back to England again. But then they came back. There was a bit of to and fro because they owned land. Now, the original house was built in the 1600s.
Is that this big white house here? Is it? Yeah.
That's not the house that was built. This is built. This is an additional house built on top of an old house on top, and the layers on top of it.
Yeah.
That house dates from about 1850. Okay, and it was in different hands. After 1850, it was renamed Rubean House at one point. It was taken over by a number of different people, including J.P. Corey, the timber merchant, one of the Clelands of the Stormont sort of fame, the Cleland family who owned Stormont. But in the 1980s and 90s, it lay vacant. Then it was bought over by a man called Shane Braniff. Now, Shane took it over. Shane's a bit of an eccentric guy, really good guy, knows what he's doing, but he's quite eccentric. One day his wife came out and he had a mini digger out and was digging out part of the ground. And she asked him what he was doing. And he said, "Oh, I'm building a distillery." And she just left it at that. Little did she know. He built this distillery and he doesn't drink. So it seems quite odd. But he decided to bring in the rebirth of Dunvilles, this old brand that he had bought the rights to, he had taken over the rights to. And they also, as I've said before, the lag time from you starting a whiskey distillery until you start making profit from your whiskey is extremely low. Okay, extremely low. So he decided, some other guys got together, he got a team together, and they put together Joe Box Gin. So they make Joe Box Gin. They now have a range of other stuff as well. They make Ecklandville Gin, they make Weaver's Gin, they make Ban Puccin. What else do they do? They do a few different whiskies. Now, they'll buy in stock and buy in really good quality stock. So for our first whiskey tasting, I thought they were probably the best ones to get in touch with. Again, they came up trumps. The guys down there, I have to take my hat off to Jarlath Watson, who is a director of the company. He's a brand ambassador. He's basically a jack of all trades. Now, the distillery itself is open to tours, and I couldn't recommend them enough. the artillery gun that you showed there, when you go and do the tour, the first time I went, I got quite a shock. The artillery gun is not there to stop the local county down guys coming up and trying to drink all the whiskey. Although it may prove useful for that, of course. But the reason it's there, when I first went, I walked into the warehouse where they keep the whiskey, and there was I think it was a Czechoslovakian APC sitting in an armoured personnel carrier. And you're like, what's that for? Shane collects these. He buys and collects all this kind of stuff, right? So there's another picture of a tank. It's a Soviet T-34 tank. And that, again, is not to fend off the ruffians coming from Cumber and other miscreant places. It's, again, he collects all this stuff. And if you ever go to Ecklandville, there's a real sense at the place that it's kind of a family affair, or everybody sort of helping each other out and doing their thing, you know. So I remember, I think it was Jarlath said to me at one point, he said, you know, you get a phone call, they say, listen, could you come round and give me a hand? I want to change the gearbox in an ex-Soviet tank, you know. So it's kind of, you kind of know that everybody there can kind of do most jobs, you know. It's a really nice place, and I would recommend the tours. Now, they sent out 2 whiskies. They sent out their 3 Crowns. Again, it's an old resurrected brand, and we'll do it first, and then they sent out the PX. Okay, this is what most people, this is what everybody should have got.
Yeah.
Right. I did say to people, you get a tasting chart from my Ulster Whiskey page. Okay. On the tasting chart is 8 different flavour profiles. So you have wood, cereal, fainty, which is like a chemically, plasticky type smell, floral, winey, fruity, peaty, and sulphur. Okay? These are the 8 basic flavour profiles. Whiskey's basically taste of all of this, okay? Now, if you haven't downloaded one of these, don't worry too much about it. It is just one of those things that if you had one, you can, it just makes things a little bit easier. Now, get your whiskey up, give it a little bit of a shake.
Okay,
Okay. Now, this is 43.5%. It costs, from the distillery, it costs about £37. So this is a fairly reasonably priced whiskey. Again, quality product. If you see the bottle is possibly the nicest label in the world. It's absolutely stunning. The attention to detail, the stuff from Dunvilles is just second to none.
It is absolutely beautiful. The 3 Crowns label, yeah. Marty. The presentation of these products is superb.
I take my hat off to them for that, and I've told them that many a time. Just and the attention to detail is just phenomenal. Now, give it a bit of a shake. Now, when you're smelling these, keep your mouth slightly ajar. Keep your mouth a little bit ajar, and put your nose to it. Now, now remember, this is not a science. Okay, this is your personal opinion. If someone is dehydrated and someone is more hydrated, or someone has, there's no right or wrong to this, okay? But if you nose this, it should be different than it was whenever you first tried it.
It isn't half, Marty. That's unbelievable.
Now you should be getting more cereal notes, possibly something along the lines of cornflakes, maybe honey nut cornflakes, actually. Sweet fruit.
I think you might be right. Crunchy nut cornflakes comes to mind.
Yep. Now, so you get that sort of cereal. There's like there's nearly like a grate, nearly a white grate nose to it. Little bit of spice there as well. No, it's maybe like a wee bit of like
I actually smelt that exact aroma somewhere else before, and I cannot place where it is.
There's almost like like a very clean, plasticky taste, and do you know what I mean? Like a nice, clean, nearly like vinyl. Do you know what I mean? That clean plastic nose to it. It's very nice.
I know what you're saying when you unwrap something fresh and it's brand new. Yes, it is.
See, that would be what you would call a sort of fainty. It's got that kind of almost a chemical note, but it's a pleasant note. Kind of estuary and green fruit.
Here's what some of the lucky ones are saying. Let me see. They're coming thick and fast tonight, Marty. So I'll have to catch up with them. Let me see. What is David Graham was saying there is porridge with whiskey.
Porridge with whiskey.
Porridge with whiskey. Mate. I've had porridge with whiskey before. I haven't ever smelled it up close, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it on Sunday morning instead of frozen croissants. Let me see. Jenny is saying she gets the cornflakes. Okay. Mark Kerr is getting the cinnamon. Yeah.
Again, it's that spicy thing. So he might be getting cinnamon. Some other people might be getting something maybe a little bit more like cardamom or something like that. But it's the same ballpark. It's that kind of spicy. None of this is hard and fast, so you kind of take it.
Yeah.
What I get is some white grape.
Jacqueline Welsh is getting the white grape and Cabernet Sauvignon. Yeah. Stanley Song confirming the spices as well tonight. Yeah. Mark Kerr is saying he's the honey monster. The sugar puffs. Yeah.
Sugar. Yeah. And it's all that kind of flavour, and it's never exactly what I say it would be or what you say it would be. It's all that wee subtle sort of differences. Now, we'll go for a little taste. Little tasty. They run it around your mouth a time or two. Now, I get there's a citrusy fruit to it there. Possibly lime more than lemon, like a lime. There's lots of green fruit, lots of like almost a zesty apple. There's a jammy flavour to it. This is a blend. It's a 4-year-old single grain, a 10-year-old malt, and an Oloroso finished sherry 15-year-old. So the jam's coming through from the Oloroso sherry. It's got a very sort of green, floral. That'll be coming in from the single grain. Definitely a touch of jam. Definitely a touch of darker fruit there too.
Jenny Mann, she says she gets an apple. Yes, I can appreciate somebody saying that. Yeah, the sharpness of a cooking apple almost, maybe.
Yeah, sure. That's what I say. That sort of a zesty apple. That sharp, almost verging on slightly bitter apple. That's where it's going, but it doesn't get there. But it's going that way. So, yeah. Really good. Now we talk about the finish, Justin, and this is where some people get slightly. What do they mean by finish? Once you've swallowed a whiskey, it'll go through a period of development. Okay, you put it in, you swallow, and it'll change slightly as it goes. After you've swallowed it as such, and there'll be a development of flavors, and it changes. Now, some people don't concentrate on that, but to me, that's probably the most exciting bit of the whole whiskey tasting. Okay, so when you take your next fill, swallow it down, and then just think, right, what am I getting here? What's happening? Again, bags of fruit, lots of fruit. Heading over towards being nutty. You're getting a bit of the wood, a fair wee touch of oak coming in there. But there's a caramel sweetness, which is different than the fruit sweetness. So it's getting that almost golden syrupy type texture to it. Again, related probably to the jam, to the sherry. But are you getting this, Justin? Are you?
I am. It came afterwards. It went down. It was smooth going down, and warmness came afterwards.
Nice development of flavour.
Yeah, it's a complex flavour. That is
Absolutely.
that is a complex flavour. That I mean, I didn't add any water to it, Marty.
I don't think that needs water. They do this, the Three Crowns, but they also do a Three Crowns peated, which well, I'll be honest with you, I don't like it as much as I like this, but I know lots of people who love it. It's an award-winning whiskey. Just personally, it's not really for me. I think the peated one takes away the good parts of this and doesn't replace them with enough on the other side for me. But that's just me, obviously. As I say, it's an award-winning whiskey, and obviously really, really well received. I will just touch on the Oloroso. Oloroso sherry. Oloroso means scented, and Oloroso sherry is made from Palomino grapes, and it doesn't have the same yeast. It's aged slightly differently, and that would develop. Oloroso sherry is quite nutty, quite truffles. It would nearly be. You nearly quite have some sort of leather flavours to Oloroso sherry, so it's quite dry. So you can sort of pick out little bits and pieces that probably influence this, or that's where it's coming from. It's coming from that sherry cask. Again, like the Three Crowns, I adore the labelling. It's just fabulous. But wait, I realise we're nearly heading towards the end of the show tonight.
Well, it was so interesting being able to talk to Paul from Belfast Whiskey Week tonight. I decided just to let it run, Marty. But we do want to taste the other one. We've got 15 minutes left. What we'll do is we're doing the comments as we go along, so we won't give people a chance to ask questions at the end of tonight, and that way we can appreciate the other whiskey.
Okay, so we'll just decant out your other one, this little one, into a glass. Right, this is it's 46% non-chill filtered. This is £88 a bottle if you're buying it off the website. So again, I appreciate there's lots of people. Not many people would pay £88 for a bottle of whiskey, but it's not that expensive in the grand scheme of things. Okay, it's not. This is not a whiskey to sit down with by all your best buddies before you're heading out for a night, knocking back this whiskey. That's not what it's for.
It's a special occasion one, this, Marty, is it?
Yeah, it's something that you would buy, get bought for your birthday, get bought for Christmas, that kind of thing. And if I had a guy send me a message during the week. It was his brother's birthday. Could I recommend a whiskey for him? He likes Jack Daniels type thing, but he wants something a bit special. And I recommended a bottle, not that expensive really. I think it was about £45. And he bought it. His brother sent me a message today to thank me. He said it's the most beautiful whiskey he'd ever tasted. This is what this kind of thing's for. You buy these kind of whiskies for kind of special occasions. So, they're not sit and drink, a third of the bottle.
So that's aged 12 years in its entirety, the whole thing. Then basically, that's what you're saying.
Minimum of 12 years now. Remember, I told you 12 years is a 12-year-old. This will come from various casks, but the youngest of which has to be 12. One whiskey cask might take a little bit longer, but it's the minimum one. Now it's 46%. It's non-chill filtered. There's no colouring in it. Let's say give this a little bit of a shake round, and give it a little nose. And I absolutely adore Dunvilles stuff.
That would be lighter to me, Marty. That would be lighter.
Well, put it like this: I get there's lots of oak there, lots of oak, like Christmas cake. You'll get that sort of stewed fruit, cooked fruits, prunes.
I love prunes. As long as there's no peel in it, we'll be fine.
Red apple, sort of stewed apple, quite candied. There's almost like there's a little gummy bear note in it. The gummy bears, but not sickly sweet. Now again, I know we're sort of rushing this a little bit, but this is not what this is for. It's not for rushing. It's for obviously leave this, let it set, work with it, savor it, take it along on its wee journey that you're going to have to go on. But no, yeah, lovely. Now we'll go for a little taste.
Okay.
Again, raisins, figs, banana bread. Bananas again. There's a little tropical fruit note to that. Nearly like a pineapple. Yeah, like a pineapple to it. Maybe a pineapple turnover, that kind of thing. Lovely, absolutely lovely. Yeah. Okay.
Wow,
now,
that is fabulous. That one, Marty. It's completely different. It's completely different than the other one. Completely different in the tongue than the other one.
Totally different. Now it might be a little strong for some people. If it is, remember I told you, tiny little bit of water. Tiny little bit of water.
I'm gonna try it with a drop of water in it now. Hold on, I'll try it.
We half teaspoon. Don't we put any more than that in it? Just to drop down the ABV, give it a little bit of chance of opening up. And again, now I know we're kind of rushing this a little bit. I'm aware of the time.
We can run on, Marty, if you want. We can run on tonight if you want. There's no problem, but I know we've got things to do.
Yeah.
Shall I let that sit a while longer, or will the water have diffused around it by now?
Water will have diffused around. Again, you're wanting to decant the thing. You want to let it do its stuff over a period of time. So give it another week, and we'll go for the finish on it. This one.
Wow, that is really weird, because the water makes it finish more powerfully. It makes it more powerful.
It does. And the finish in that's really long. I'm getting cherry, chocolate, dark chocolate, quite cocoa not on
it. Jenny is thinking of the number 6. She's saying don't rush. Don't rush. Oh boy.
I try to take me home, Jenny, if I can.
What a night this has turned out to be. Hold on, we've got to go through some of these, Marty, while we're here. Okay, what have we got? Where have we got? Listen, Jacqueline Welsh is saying I wouldn't mind trying the peaty one. There you go. Yeah, neither would I.
Available on the website. So yeah, just so you.
They're coming thick and fast here. Judy Mason saying nothing better than the peat. Yes, yes. It's very mushy peat if you ever walk on it. If you go up on the Star Bog, it's highly recommended. My one didn't arrive either. Did it not? Oh, we're sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear it. I do that all the time, but it's usually with large screen TVs, so as to get 2 of them. All right. Jackman Welsh, I would not be paying 88 for this one. For some, yes, but on the nose of this and first taste, not in this one. There you go. Not everybody agrees. It just shows you we're not bought and paid for on this channel. We're not bought and paid for in this channel. Mark Kerr is saying he's getting a nice bit of ice cream in the nose with this one.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I would agree with that. Rum and raisins coming through in that and me. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see what is this. Yep, stewed apple as well. We're getting that tonight. Malty toffee humbugs. Yeah.
Malty toffee humbugs. Malty toffee humbugs.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get me.
It's definitely peppery. When you add water to it, it makes it more peppery. It does. It definitely does.
And there's only a little touch of water on the.
But Jack definitely saying she likes the blended one better. She definitely does, right?
I'm glad you like one of them. You know, I'm glad you like one of them. They do a whole range of stuff, and everything that they do, I think, is quality. From the labelling to the whiskies, etc., etc. I will just talk quickly. This is PX finished. It's finished in a Pedro Jimenez sherry, which anyone who's ever had that style of sherry, it's slightly. It comes over ripened grapes. There's lots and lots of sugar appears on it, which then the PX sherry can be the sort of, again, figs and syrupy, sometimes a bit like cough medicine.
Yeah. There's two Pedro Jimenez. There's Pedro Jimenez and there's Pedro Jimenez sherry, and it's the Pedro Jimenez sherry we're talking about. And I must admit, I do like Pedro Jimenez sherry.
It's sweet.
Sainsbury's do it sometimes 8 to 12 quid a bottle. It's one of the small, thin, slender bottles. It is a fabulous drink to have. Yes.
Yeah. And that's now, as I say, it gives that really rich, deep. Sometimes you taste that and almost taste like a very slight cough mixture. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a good way. You know, it's that rich, deep flavour. Again, all of the figs and the raisins and the deep stewed fruit, that kind of thing. That's where that's coming from. Again, I have to take my hat off. I think it's I love this. I genuinely love the PX stuff that they do. The cask strength that they brought out this year, amazing stuff. Amazing. I had one last night in sort of honour of what we're going to be doing tonight. So anyway, fabulous stuff.
Well, Marty, it's been a blast this evening. We do have time. We better say hello to some people because it's actually been ballistic tonight. I haven't been able to put all the messages on screen, but Trevor Watson is saying, I would have loved to be sent one in Fermanagh. I'm here with a wee... Trevor, how long a holiday are you on in Fermanagh? We've been doing this for about 10 weeks now, and you've been in Fermanagh the whole time. Do you live in a caravan down there? I thought the caravan sites were only open this week. He's having a wee black bush, but enjoying the show and the chat with that.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with a wee black bush, Jenny man. You're absolutely right. Julie Mason is saying it's lovely and woody. Yeah. Jacqueline Welsh is saying it's burnt caramel. There you go. Fantastic stuff. And Jacqueline Welsh also says makes it more earthy. Now I'm gonna try that. I don't get that, but the water definitely lifts that one. The water definitely lifts that one.
Now again, now that this has been sitting a little minute or two, again it's changing a little bit more, you know, and that's what will happen. It will develop with a little bit of time as it's decanted. You will get that slight difference the whole way through, you know.
Right, fabulous stuff. So that's about it for this evening. Peter McCabe is saying that's at least 3 times you've taken your hat off this evening, Marty. Yes.
Oh yeah, yes, and I'm not even wearing one.
No, knock it off again, Marty. Knock it off again.
Yeah, I shall tug my furlough instead from now on.
Well, I wish I had a hat to take off, but unfortunately, I don't have the prop sitting nearby. Do I have a hat sitting nearby? I don't. But I have a good Irish whiskey hat. Marty, tell people what you're doing at the actual Belfast Whiskey Week, and I'll go and get a hat. All right?
I'm doing the introduction to Irish whiskey. So there are loads of distilleries, loads of different whiskies. There'll be music. There's going to be comedians. It lasts from 12 to 7, and it's all sold out. So it's yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. It was to be on obviously a festival where people could come to events. Unfortunately, that has went down the toilet, but it's now all online, so people can join in. They can do something along the lines of what we're doing tonight and see what's happening. You know.
Now, Marty, this is my hat, and I'm channeling Donald Sutherland from The Eagle Has Landed. Now, would you like to be Jenny Agutter or Michael Caine?
Michael Caine, please. Not a lot of people know that.
Not a lot of people know that. I mean, there was some great cast in that movie, but it's a wee bit of a B movie. What do you think of my hat? It's a really good Irish. I don't like flat caps, you see. I don't like dentures. So I think
don't tell that to Peter McCabe. Peter McCabe was a big denture fan. So yes,
is he? Jenny Mann is saying she loves the hat. Jenny, I'll private message you after 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
6 minutes past.
Oh boy, there we go. This is quite an expensive hat. I would like to point out that this is the Hats Company by Filippo Guittari, and it's made in Italy, by the way, just so you know. I don't wear it.
Is it an antique? Is that why it's so expensive?
No, it's not an antique. It's a TK Maxx special, and if you're watching in America, it's called TJ Maxx because there was already a store here called TJ Hughes. But there you go. But there you go. If you want to get into product brand, David Graham says I look like Wurzel Gummidge tonight. you're Wurzel Gummidge. How dare you, sir? How dare you, sir? Jenny, Julie, Trevor. Cheers, everyone, this evening. Listen, unusual results this evening in the Welsh household. My dad says he likes the blended one too. There you go.
But I guess everybody each their own. That's the main thing. You pick what you like. As I said earlier on about the peanut one. Jacqueline might enjoy the peanut one. Wasn't just for me. That's the joy. This is democracy in action, Justin. This is democracy in action.
Listen, I'm sure people think we've a neck full tonight. I haven't even drunk all of these. I've only had a wee bit of this. Somebody has said the show's gone very Crocodile Dundee tonight.
That's not a knife. Where's my knife?
Away and have a donk, Marty. Away and have a donk.
I'll do, my friend. And I hope everybody enjoyed tonight, and hope we'll maybe get some more of these up and running and see if we can get guys to join in, and we'll get a bit of a laugh. Do some more whiskey tasting.
I must admit, it really got people talking. They were having a good bit of banter here tonight with each other, and it's fantastic stuff. Listen, if you've enjoyed the show, make sure you comment, like, and share. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you join us next week, 10 p.m. British Summer Time. Live on Facebook. Remember to go to the main channel, which is facebook.com/Irish Whiskey Review /live, and you can see the show there every week, 10 o'clock, same time, while we're still in lockdown, because hopefully they'll let us run free, and well, I think we'll be on our way somewhere exotic before the winter comes here in Ireland. All right. Thank you very much, Marty. That was very enjoyable. And thanks again to the people at, the distillery for sorting that all out for us, because that certainly was a beautiful evening enjoying that whiskey from Dunvilles. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys. Bye.